We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just...
Absolutely. The next game, we'll see. I don't think we'll have much of a disagreement on this game, but heading into the second wild card game, we have the Rustloff Panthers traveling to Stuttgart. Another team making this playoff appearance for the first time under the Coach Newman era. The culture has officially changed there. This is going to be, you go from a team that was 2-20 the first two seasons to now the third seed hosting the playoff game. All right. And then on the other hand, we got the Rustloff Panthers returning back to the playoffs, playing with heavy hearts after most recent loss of their teammate. Second half of the season, they've been playing some strong ball to stay in the race and ultimately earn the playoff spot. Questions about Mike Vitale heading into preseason. People were hating on this dude, thinking he was a bust. It would never work out. Thinking, like, what are they doing? How come they never signed? And he's been one of the most efficient quarterbacks this season. And he doesn't even turn the ball over. That's the crazy thing. No. All right. So my biggest question heading into this game is the health of Tony Tate. He's been out the past 2 weeks. I believe it's an ankle injury. But if he can't go, what do the Panthers, where does the offensive production come from the Panthers?
Ooh, that's the $1 million question. I do not have the answer for you there. Yeah, Matt's going to need to really do some work. And man, I'm super hyped for Wrocław because, they're probably like my favorite team in the league because they've beaten me 3-4 times. I played in Poland for 2 years. So I have respect for them because those Polish dudes are tough dudes and they're physical, and that squad is about their business. So I have a ton of respect for them. And I'll be the first to admit, bro, I was one of the haters, maybe not hater, but I was very much questioning the decision to sign him after kind of a college career up and down. But we both went to
quarterbacks are out there. Yep.
That too. Yeah. But he's a fellow Diablo Valley College quarterback like myself.
There you go.
Put up some good numbers there. So once a Viking, always a Viking. So I'm, the Wrocław Panthers have a sentimental value to me on all kinds of ways. With that said, if Tate don't play, it's not even close. Yeah.
Steph Curry.
No, because maybe they play tough defense, but offensively without Tate is a dude. The American import receivers this year have been incredibly impressive.
Yes, out of control.
Incredibly impressive. All of them have been one touch to the house type of dudes.
And that's why DBs, and this is the topic for another day, but DBs in the offseason for ELF24 are going to be at a premium. Especially coming off of this year.
If you're a Euro DB right now, you better be backpedaling and practicing your turns, because there's money to be made in the ELF for you.
Absolutely.
But no, with all that said, man, I like Newman. I wish that Wrocław was playing Berlin or Frankfurt in the other round so I could pick them with my Cinderella pick. But I can't go against, if I'm going to say Stuttgart's the best chance to beat Fire, I can't say they're going to lose in the first round.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, let me give you this one stat, right? The Stuttgart Surge, before heading into that game against my Helvetic Guards, which was about 5 games, their defense was giving up 12 points per game. Okay. After that game, the next 5 games, the defense almost started to give up double and 24 points per game. All right. So now you're in the playoffs and the cream's rising to the top, right? And when you look at the Surge, right? Let me bring this back. The Rustloff Panthers, they're similar to a team that beat the Surge. And they're actually similar to the Munich Ravens, a team that had a dynamic receiver, have a run game, right? And they're able to create balance and attack. So if they're able to use similar philosophy Munich did to get that 32-30 win over Stuttgart, who ended up beating the Surge, we might have something brewing here. But ultimately, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. I don't know how healthy Tate is. David Brzozowski had a great year. Kudos to him. Got the Russian title. But, other receivers and other people in the passing game are going to have to step up in order for Rusloff to win this game. But I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I'm picking the Surge, and the reason why I'm picking the Surge, I actually think their passing attack is going to be the difference maker against that Panthers defense. That front seven, they're good. I worry a little bit about the back seven. I worry about the speed of the linebackers and how good those DBs are going to be able to cover a Lewis Guy or a Yannick Marr or people like that got some speed and athletic as hell. So that's why I think the Surge are going to end up pulling this one off.
For sure. No, I'm with you there. Is that Wrocław front seven is tough dudes, but no, I agree completely that the back end is where they can lose it, and Stuttgart kind of has the advantage then with those dudes you mentioned.
Most definitely. So before we wrap this up, I got one more question for you, and it's kind of something based off the ELF this past season. Season 3 has probably been the most challenging and craziest season for the ELF. What do you think the league will learn from this season in order to improve and push the league forward? Because obviously it's solidified itself as the best league in Europe, definitely the most marketable league in Europe. So what could they do, or what could they learn from this past season to push this league going forward?
Man, well, I'll
and it could be a lot, but just give me one or two.
Yeah, I mean, I got personally the thing that bugs me the most is like the highlights that they throw on YouTube this year were absolutely atrocious compared to years past. Like absolutely. I mean, the camera angles are great. You got the yellow line on the field. We got 1st and 10. We got every angle imaginable. But bro, like the goal, in my opinion, especially with the season being right now, playoffs being right now, it's alternate of the NFL. I know it's unrealistic to expect that like an American audience is really going to start to care about Euro football, but that I think should be part of the goal on top of just generating the Euro audience as well. Bro, if you're putting on crappy 5.5-minute highlights that have zero game flow, don't let you feel like you're a part of the game at all. Like it's going to be really hard to get people invested and involved, or because I know they're really doing it in their minds because they add the extended highlights for the Game Pass. So they want to make you pay to get the good highlights. But as me, like, I don't want to, like, that's not the way I work. I'm not like going to be bribed into doing some stuff, And so for me, from like the audience perspective, I think like make the highlights better, make it so like you can actually appreciate the game as a bystander for one. I think that for me personally, that's the one thing that can like actually bring in more eyes, like legitimate eyes. Obviously everyone's going to say like expanding too quick and maybe getting some of these teams that didn't have everything in order, but I'm not necessarily against trying to expand quick and then having to compact and then, because that's, if you research the NFL or any league ever, like in the beginning, that's how it goes. Like there's going to be new teams. There's going to be teams that fold. It's going to, like, for me, if you want to put your money where your mouth is and you got the money, let's go, So I have no issue with like the teams that maybe shouldn't be included being included. Like I think that's just going to be a learning part of it. I hope, I've heard some rumors. I don't know how much is true, but like year 1 and 2, there was a lot more help from the league with teams. Year 3, the teams were much more on their own. I think at some point there needs to be like a profit share or some kind of conglomeration between the teams in order for it to be a team effort. If one team goes out, like that's bad for the league, which in turn is bad for every team in the league. And so there has to be some kind of teamwork amongst the teams or amongst the league, I think, so off the top of my head, those are like the 2 main things for me.
Absolutely. And we'll see what they do. And obviously leading to the championship game, the past 2 seasons, they've always made big announcements, and they've always announced maybe new teams. So we'll see if we'll get some. But hey, man, it's gonna be a good game. Again, we're going up against each other, Berlin versus Frankfurt, and then we both got the Surge. So we'll see what happens. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and we'll keep this ELF talking going. Joey, I appreciate you, brother. This won't be the last time we chop it up, my man.
Much love, brother. Appreciate you.